Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just had to make sure my mic was working. A good friend of mine recommended that I do this a while ago, so I figured why not. I just finished my college apps, and there's a lot of big feelings. I mean, I've been waiting for this for a really long time, right? I mean, it all feels a little underwhelming. I thought it'd be like big, like wow, it's all done now. I don't have to worry about it anymore, but it's really not. I really don't like those sounds. There we go. That shouldn't bug me as much. I can't remember the last time I streamed something. I must have been a lot younger. 12 maybe? I still haven't gotten any better at it either. It's kind of funny. I guess some things don't change, no matter how much older you get. I think he plans on moving this bishop. He slide it over that rook. Yep, here he comes. That's not very good. His pawns are gonna start coming forward. I'll figure something out though. I've been stuck in the same place, with chess particularly, for a while. But sure enough, I'm still fairly confident I'll get somewhere eventually. Yeah. Poor pawn. I remember when I first hit 1700, I thought that I'd finally figured out the secret to improving and I wouldn't be stuck for a long time anymore, but I don't think you ever figure out the secret. I don't think that's how improvement works. Sure wish it did, but I'm not stupid enough to lie to myself about it. I've always had problems with consistency. That's the main reason why I play chess. Because I just want something that I can feel like I can consistently perform well in, and unfortunately, that still hasn't really become the case, but I've gotten closer. I realized a big part of it wasn't that I was really inconsistent, but rather that the people I play against play very, very differently. I'm going to have games where my playstyle just happens to counter them, about as often as I have games where my playstyle just happens to overwhelm them and secures a pretty easy win. It's not a matter of me being bad or good or inconsistent. It's just random chance, and it's up to me to recognize when my skills are helping me and when they aren't. I really don't like this pawn chain. Throwing quite the... I'm not quite sure the word. Putting a wrench in my plans. There we go. Not to mention my own pawns are kind of cutting off my bishop. They're still mostly on light squares. Same with his. I think what I need to do is I need to get this bishop to start doing something. Maybe I slide it over onto an open diagonal. And I need a forced play on the king side, which my bishop's kind of pointed towards right now. This is obviously going to be a very easy game for him to just keep calm and outplay me on. So I'll press my time advantage and hopefully figure something out from there. Pretty simple plan here, push pawn. Not that simple's bad, but... Let's see. I'm thinking I slide this bishop over. If he starts pushing his pawns forward, I have my pawns to help out. And I think trading off this rook is worth being able to get my bishop back into this. I mean, ideally, I can get this to be like a pawn race kind of situation, and my bishop will be able to outpace his knight. Then again, I did just give him a free passed pawn, so... Oh, he doesn't take it. That's awesome. So do take that with a grain of salt. I like the idea of sliding over, attacking this pawn. He's gonna push this up. Yeah, that works too. I think I want to put my bishop back on this diagonal. His knight can't come in to attack me quite yet. Brings his king forward. I can either move my bishop back or I can try to take control of the open file. I think I'm going to take the file. Do I? I'm also leaning towards, because I'm worried about this pawn. I guess I can just push pawn. Keep this locked down. If I can push his pieces into passivity, I can give myself a semblance of a chance. I see a plan where he starts to jump his knight forward into my side of the board. Bit annoying. I'd have to come back there. Cause like I don't want to trade off my bishop. But okay, his rook slides back. I think he's gonna try to force a piece trade here. And do you know what? I don't mind that. Do I? Let's see. Takes. Well, let's give it a try. Right away, I see how his knight and his pawns are kind of working together to shut me down. Not the biggest fan of that. I have to figure out a way to get myself through it. Alright, his king's coming in. I think he's trying to lodge his knight on this square. That would be really bad for me. Because he'd also be attacking this. No, I think what I'm going to do here is, instead of contesting the space, I am going to move my bishop back to... Let's see, I still have 4 minutes on him. If I go here, I have the issue of his knight being able to come to this square. This square I'm not as concerned about. It doesn't attack any of my pawns, and if he trades here, I can start bringing my king over to help. Start by locking things down. Which, again, that favors the knight, so I probably shouldn't be doing it, but... I'm not really sure what else I got going for me. I'm also starting to think about pushing these pawns. If I can lodge a pawn over on his side of the board, it'll create winning chances for me later on. If I were him, I'd bring my king over here. He has the pawn majority over here, right? So why bother fighting with the small pieces over here when... Let's see. If I take this, then he takes back and he just gets absolute control over this side of the board. My pieces can't possibly stop his from progressing forward. That's no good for me. I gotta attack on this side. Alright, I do think this is what I was talking about earlier. He needs to progress on this side of the board because this is where he's strong. This is where all his pawns are. Or he's thinking about hopping his knight over here. Also solid idea. But regardless, I need to press my advantage. Well, I don't have an advantage. I don't know what I'm on about, but I need to at least try to make one. This will create a passed pawn for him. done a good job with these pawns, moving them from light squares over to dark ones, so that way my bishop can't have any play. Alright, his king's eyeing me down. Wait a second. What happens if he takes here? I don't think that'd be very good for him, would it? Huh. Ah, this pawn's just coming up. A shame. This knight's gonna take no matter what I do. That's okay though. You can feel free to take this pawn. I'm not defending it. But I am gonna start to turn this into a bit of a race. Which is what you want when you have a bishop, right? Fortunately for me, both of these pawns are promoting on light squares. Needs to be careful here. Ah, easy mistake to make. Attacking this pawn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up, lock it down on light squares while Simon... Oh, he resigns. That was a nice comeback. Hey, 1759. Not too shabby. Might as well play one more. This guy doesn't... Oh, there we go. Fix his internet connection right away. I hope we see an Italian. Nope. This is okay. What's this called? I honestly don't remember. If he offers this pawn, I can't take it. That's a mistake I make quite a bit. Right. Now we're cooking with gas. If I come up here, then I think I get hit by the bishop. Not the greatest situation. You know what? I can't be afraid to take time during the opening. It's the opening. Like, obviously I'm gonna be faced with unfamiliar situations. I'm gonna do this to try to contest the bishop. Now I have the option of castles. Alright, he offers this. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier, I can't take this pawn because if I do, I lose my bishop. Actually, I don't lose my bishop. I think I can take this pawn. I think all I do is give away development. Because this move is stopped by my knight. I think now I just have to find a way to hunker down as a bunch of pieces come flying at me. It's not pretty, but I think I can figure something out. Alright, his knight comes forward, putting more pressure onto this pawn. I think I need to start giving material back. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get shut down. Just like instantly. I'm gonna start by giving the pawn back. Let's see. He can take with this pawn. And then that pretty much... all that does is pause for one move. I need something bigger. Let's see. If I come forward, I can cut off his queen from doing as much. It's either that or I come here to defend this slot. But I think this move... Wait, he can't play this move. Alright, let's give this a try. If he brings over a piece to attack it, I bring my other knight into it to get my knight off this kind of not the greatest spot. I think if he attacks my knight with the bishop, I don't worry about whatchamacallit. I don't worry about defending this knight. I think I just open up the line here. I am still a little worried about this pawn. And I gotta remember that I can't push it forward because discovered check is gonna kill me. Huh, what do I do now? I'm thinking either here or here. Here, so I can lodge my knight here to stop this pawn from pushing forward, or here to support this knight. Since this doesn't really do anything for me right away, I think it's a better call for me to go here. So again, if he offers his pawn, I take it. He's not going to because this guy's a pretty wise fella. It's Franny right here. But I still have to keep it in mind, so that way if he does it later on, I don't have to go and figure it out. Alright, he's bringing his knights together. I do think... I see. He doesn't want me to be able to lodge my bishop here. He wants to free up this diagonal. So he can go pow. I like my bishop on this diagonal. Let's just drop it back. Now I'm starting to second guess bringing my knight back here. I mean, it does open up my bishop line, which is pretty nice. Yeah, you know what, now that I think about it, I am still going to bring my knight back there if he doesn't find some other way to get my pieces away. And again, if he threatens this, I'm going with the same idea of moving my knight, except... Well, I guess I don't have to. I'm thinking, no, that doesn't work for me. Okay, now I see his idea. It's not that he wants to, he wants to defend this knight, so that way I can't take back and get development. Rather wise from this fella. I'm just gonna bring my knight back, hit him. Honestly, I wouldn't want to move back if I could help it, but I don't think I could help it. Pretty neat how we haven't traded any pieces yet. It's all pretty much out on the board. Again, this knight being quite the pain. I think a move as simple as this, just to get him out of there, would be pretty nice. He has quite a few pieces lined up on this square defending it, so he's no... Really? But now if I take, he opens up his king. I thought you didn't want to open up your king. Well, I think before I worry about whether or not I take that piece, I don't want this open area that I make for him later on to be a danger. So let's start by kicking out his knight. Ah, wait. Now he just backs up here and then he can defend his bishop. Really gotta think just a little bit more. Shame. I think I'm still going to trade just to make it harder for him to reroute his knight. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's still in fundamentals mode and he goes here so that we can keep central control. Huh. Interesting. The idea here is that if I take the knight, he takes back, and then after taking back, I have no way of stopping checkmate. Very neat idea, sir. Unfortunately, I don't think I want to take that. No siree, Bob. In fact, I think I want to settle my queen not right there, because then I just, lose. Not the wisest situation. But, maybe something more tame, like, I don't know, attacking the bishop. This knight combo has really just been deadly. He's got his queen here. If I go here, his pawn takes. I'm running pretty low on time, too. I burnt through a whole minute thinking through all this stuff. I mean, I don't regret it. Definitely had to take some extra time here. You know what? I could just be a pansy, but I think that idea of bringing my knight back to cut off this line isn't terrible. It's on the safer side of things, sure, kill me or whatever, but gets the job done. That's all we really want. And then once I go takes, if he does take this knight, of course he doesn't have to. Once I take back, I don't think this pawn by itself is a threat. I think I can just take the knight without worrying about it. Where was I? Oh, college applications, yeah. I submitted my UC apps. Done, dusted. Spent a solid amount of time yesterday and today working on it, but I'm glad that it's over and done with. Originally, I was just going to trade these knights just to get rid of the pair of them. But I think I also want to get my bishop in there. Just so I can have more pieces aiming down at him. Of course, I still can't take this knight because of takes. He takes back. Actually, wait. Now I can actually take this knight because my bishop defends the checkmate. If you might notice, I don't have ratings turned on. That's because I don't really have the best mental when it comes to chess, so I get stressed out pretty easily by the numbers. So having them off is a nice way to just, calm down, take a chill pill, not stress out. When I really sit down and think about it, this channel really does represent me. It's all over the place. I'm pretty sure I did animation at one point, Minecraft at another. I've done a little bit of everything. And, I think it's fairly accurate to say I've spent my life doing a little bit of everything. Not a big fan of this. Now it's either I can go here and attack the knight. No, I lose my bishop right away. Let's not do that. Yippee. I think I'm gonna just do it this way. Actually, no. I don't want to take away a defender of this pawn. I'm gonna bring this rook because this pawn's already pretty well defended. I mean, what I really want to do is figure out some way to start getting my rooks out. Look at how active his one is. It's just staring down at me, and mine's just sitting here doing nothing. It's not the greatest. I mean, I got to open up his king and double his pawns. We got triple isolated pawns here. If I can go to endgame, I'll be perfectly fine against this guy. I've started to get back some of that time that I had. What's the word? I've started to get back some of that time advantage I threw away earlier on. Fairly happy with that. Always gotta look for checks, make sure he has nothing tricky. That would just lose him a knight, so I'm okay with it. Also, if he tries doing something like rook here to put more pressure, I think I just go here, force the queen out of here so I can relax. Pushes the pawn up to defend. I defend this square right next to the king. I do hope that pays off later on. Yeah, I think it's about time I get this queen out of here. If I hit her here, where will she want to go? Probably here, so that way you can not centralize, but fix his pawns. And then once that happens, I'm out of here. Well, not actually, no, because then it starts to be quite a danger. You know what? Let's get my bishops working. I'm gonna attack this pawn while also defending this. Again, if he makes a nonsense move, I use that as a chance to do something with my rooks. This knight can't come to attack my queen to get it off the defense of this bishop. Brings the rook forward to defend the whatchamacallit, the pawn. I do think that isn't the greatest idea, but I do have to figure out why. Let's see. If I go here, if queen takes here, does he have a pretty big checkmate there? No, not really. Takes, rook takes, then I don't take back. He can't take with the, no, he can't take with the pawn. Maybe I'm just getting impatient. I want to finish things off, but I'm going to go queen right here. Staring down at this rook. If knight comes back here, I'm not worried. I'll just trade off my my bishop with queen takes here. Then I take the knight, and sorry, not the knight, the rook. And I think I'm a lot happier with a rook than he'll be with. Alright, let's see. Takes. You know what? This bishop hasn't done anything for me all game. I'm getting rid of it. He's gonna fix his pawn structure, which sucks, but I'd rather give it away for something than nothing, you know? You go here because I want to start pushing this queen away. I see the idea and I don't like it. I'm going to start by stacking these, that way I can have another attacker of this pawn. I don't want this to be a valid threat for him. I think something like bishop here is coming. Not bishop, pawn here. I mean, if pawn here, I just push up my pawn. And this trade is not good for him. Rook for a queen, I mean, obviously. Well, I just need to make okay enough threats. There's not much time left before something big happens. This tricky situation to be in. I'm going to slide over my rook, attacking this bishop. Takes the pawn, then he loses the bishop. I also can just slide over and check the... I should have done that first. Sneaky check. I don't think it goes anywhere, though. Rook comes forward. Really, he comes backwards. Because... Wait, no, I'm still defending here. What do I do? How do I keep progressing? Well, I'm going to first lock this down. I don't want to let him have a way to progress. I mean, when in doubt, start pushing pawns, right? I have this pawn here. Let's just get it moving. If I were him, I would... Actually, no, he can't. He has to go forward. He has to bring his rook that way. Yeah, there we go. Get a pawn, continue to defend this square. And I win on time. Awesome. No, I will not be playing with you. I gotta go. Have a nice day, y'all.